Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have a game dominated by Kayn and brought to you with glorious purpose via Rhaast. Finally I nailed that, it only took about 10 tries. We are against a Lee Sin and you will note, Camille, Galio, Maokai, that's a lot of melees. And yes, I understand Gourd Drinker, Ghostblade, buying a tier of the sadness. What's wrong with you people? Rhaast is perfect for this exact game and you don't even need flash. And that's right, this guy is a Grandmaster in Korea, and he doesn't run Flash. Now, please do let me know, of course, if you'd like some world coverage of these kinds of videos. I'm not sure if I should market it rather with, the portraits of the people I'm covering, or if I should market it in general, so let me know your thoughts on that. But for this game, as always, game history is linked below. I want to show you how Kayn truly can carry games without the same kind of prototypical pressure you'd expect from the jungle meta. Now yes, a Lee Sin, a Xin Chao, a Jarvan, all these monkeys are going to be ganking your lanes. They're doing 4-5 camps. Kayn, yeah, typically we want him to clear, we want him to farm, we want him to get 6. People think he's not that good early. He's way better early than you think. And of course, if you pick the right form and go the right build and really have great map reads, you can take over every game. You would have seen the runes on your screen now. Yes, a conditioning, unflinching rune set with tenacity as well, because they have a lot of CC, so adapting your runes always a good lesson. Now this clear, you will note, Raptors, Krugs, Red. Why? Because after this you can easily go Wolves and tie your Blue Grom together. You can be done by 315. But it means that the second time you do your rotations, your second spawn Raptors, your second spawn Krugs, you're looking at a beautiful sequence. Normally if you went Raptors, Red, Krugs, you'd have that space between the Raptor spawning and the Krug spawning. This way we maximize their experience. Now obviously, you get super low and he has not smited. So be fully aware if you're being invaded or not. Play the lane properly. If you're against a Shaco, if you get something that might cheese you, as always, I do advise smiting a bit sooner rather than smiting the wolves. But in this case, he's smiting it so he can drag the camp up, watch this, and he'll cue them as they go into the bush, hitting a double proc, pulling the camp. So when people were complaining about the kiting adjustments they made, that's why I made that video, basically telling everyone they were just being ridiculous. It's not going to make you suddenly lose games versus junglers that you are better than, So, look at this. Absolutely fine. You drag the wolf camp all the way to blue. We'll get the juicy respawn from the Grump as well as the red buff ticking away there. No aggro reset, thank you very much. And we still have a smite in pocket. Now here we have a Lulu versus a Camille. Lee Sin is obviously going to try and 5 camp and abuse this, which it looks like he's going to do. He flashes. Kayn is basically rotating up here. The Zoe has prior over the Galio. They're all going to join this goon squatting early game. The W does miss, but unfortunately for the Lee Sin, he has no flash, and Kayn is a champion with full Conqueror. He does die. The Galio is able to TP and impact things. Lulu TP's back up, and all of a sudden we're looking at a 3-2 score, but pretty much evens out, I feel. Camille now will re-TP top lane, and Kayn is basically saying, you know what? Yes, my Raptors will be spawning second spawn. Yes, my Krugs will be spawning second spawn. And yes, Lee Sin will most likely look to take this bottom crab. So this possible counter jungling is huge for me. However, there's also a school of thought that basically says, well, why not take this crab away from the Lee Sin, knowing full well that we're not going to have bot pry for this. I mean, they'll be able to rotate sooner, and Zoe will be in base, even though she has doubles. Here we go, see, as predicted, as understood, the Lee Sin thinks the Kayn should be in this area, right? And that's the double bluff. That's the power of good map control. What are we doing? We're taking the level 1 Krugs. Is it the fact that they're level 1 an issue? A little bit, but is it a big issue? No, because we plan on controlling this camp spawn over and over again. The Lee Sin rightly pings this, assuming, well, I got this free crab, Kayn must have taken this and then floated down to his tier 2 Raptors. So could the Lee Sin potentially look to counter jungle this? Yes. But with Zoe kind of in position to rotate, with the bot lane in position to rotate, it's way too risky. So he will fall back to his blue side. The Kayn has basically just stuck his hand deep in the cookie jar, taken all of the good double stuffed Oreos, and left basically just crumbs of regular Oreos for this Lee Sin. And now the Lee Sin will see this and go, no way. Basically, the Kayn called his bluff, punished him for it, used the fact that no one knew where the Kayn was to steal all his camps. And now, again, you might think, hold up, should I go potentially back to my jungle? No, well, you currently have a bit of tempo control. We see a low HP Kai, so we can go for this. The Kayn will make mistakes. Okay, this is not some kind of perfect, no death kind of game. He does 1v9, and he does, well, relatively, and he does take over the game in a very good way, but it's not without mistakes. So let's see the good decisions and the bad. Now, the Lee Sin, basically, this is the thing. This kind of move, let's just see what happens. Okay, we hit the Drowsy. We don't want to proc that before it's ready. So Zoe gets a bonus damage. That's very good. We're using our Q for gap closing. Once the Lee Sin show top lane here and recognize there's no camps, the Kayn does this on purpose because the Lee Sin's only other option is to run to this, or to gank this, or to try and help out here, which is exactly what it does. So Kayn basically cuts him off, prevents the counter jungling, takes his Chicken McNuggets. Lee Sin now will look to take the top blue side. There's nothing else to do, because now the Lee Sin assumes again that Kayn's going to be down on the bottom side. The Kayn is in the business of denial and not giving anything for free. So you can basically decide as the Kayn, what camps are you willing to give away? And when do you want to collapse? He doesn't go for the Krugs. You know, he doesn't want to give away stuff for free. He's going straight in for this fight. We do have to be very careful. Nice Q to avoid the E from the Camille. She ults, Galio ults. Double Q. Oh, that was beautiful. And the Lulu ult obviously saves the day. And we've got a full stand Conqueror, so. Now, you're going to say, well, wait a second. He got Lulu ulted. Yeah, but he also got Camille ulted. And then Galio ulted. So, I think that comes out in the wash. And now, as I said, we want to control this Krug camp. I like the collapse, and it's great when everyone listens. On the main channel, I just released a video talking directly about what happens when laners listen, when they don't listen. What happens when you have a good jungler, you know, like, say, challenge FPX Tian against a Diamond 4 Lilia, and all the laners are just giga randoms doing random things. How can you track and play? Watch that if you're concerned about typing something in the comments about, well, Lulu ulted him. That's the game, my friends. That's the game. Good deep ward. Good deep ward. And again, we're controlling this. Look at this control. Now, the Lee Sin, what do you think he is? You don't have to be an advanced jungle tracker. If he hasn't shown here, he must be bottom side, which means he's got crab prior if he wants it. So what we can do is cut across the mid lane. Ignore that. You could stay for the red, but I feel like it's too long. There's a Ghost Pourer there. We'll snack on this one. Well, as much as one snacks on the Ghost Pourer. Zombie Pourer. Ghost Pourer. Ghost Pourer. Well, whatever. Some kind of thing in the rune tree that I never run unless I'm a support. Obviously, high low, it makes a bit more sense. Here we could see a potential dragon sneak. Now, you're seeing the Lee Sin here. If you're in a low elo game against a Vi, Shyvana, Volibear, please be very mindful of the fact that they might try and sneak a dragon. Because they see you doing this. They know you're going to try and take your red buff. They know that the bottom lane, the blue lane, what is that? They know that they're shilling here and they have no pressure release here. And basically, this could be an easy sneak. So as always, take your red, hit the plant, see what's up. And if you're a high elo jungler or a high elo jungler, your tracking should be a lot better than that. We see both bottom lane, good ward, bottom laners. We see Lee Sin on the ward. Zoe now has prior once more. And this is very interesting because Galio is usually a very prior heavy mid laner. That's a great gank. I don't know why they're falling for it. Lee Sin is going in on the Zoe. So what we can do is instead of overcommitting, we can turn back, but we do have to be very, very cautious. We do have ult available. And we're just looking to stack orbs. Okay, that Q was very close to hitting. Kai'Sa can still do a lot of damage here. Just kind of disengage out. You can always fall back to your Krugs. You will have to give the dragon. We will have to give the dragon. I do feel like I kind of want to do my Krugs. But at the same time, you know, we're not going to have enough time to finish the whole quadrant before we need to go topside. So what we can do is get our form, especially if you have form. This is the contingency here. Okay, hold up. Hold up a second. Let's slow it down. If you do not have form, if you're waiting for a little bit of gold and you know that you're losing the dragon and you want to go topside, it's okay to finish this quadrant reset and then do so. But if you do have form and enough gold for Gorge Drinker, go back to base, buy it, and head to the topside, as I said he was doing and why he was doing. I mean, he's very well staying here. But if he's on this, right, and he's taking a long time to do it, you can always, as you can see here, get your form and run straight back into the bottom side of the map. It's not usually what I'm a fan of. I prefer sort of like a full sequence or finishing a quadrant before we go to the other side of the map. In this case, if you had no plans to fight pre-form, then we could have easily done the Krugs, the Raptors, and then reset, got a form, bought the Gold Drinker, and maybe another Control Wood or a Longsword, you know? So that is a possibility. I don't think there's a right and wrong necessarily straight up, because you're ending up in the exact same situation, except this time yeah, you're out of mana, but we do have Blue and Grumpy Grump. So Lee Sin is seen top side. Please, as I said with this one, make the right decision based upon your needs and how you see the game. Everyone plays it a little differently. You kind of low on HP and low on resources before you went back to base. So if they didn't do the dragon and invaded, definitely mega doomed. Now the Nami's going to rotate up here with a little bit of the tempo advantage in her corner. The Maokai should look to match, and because he's missing here, we have to be aware of this. They're kind of pinging the Kayn like, let's go do the Herald, but I think the Kayn knew what he was doing. He wanted a full sequence, make sure that CSPM is mega high, very high. Let's reduce the usage of those words a little bit. We can switch to Giga, Sigma, Alpha, Turbo as we go on, but I think the Mega is getting a little overused by everyone. And I can hear it too all the time, you know what I mean? And while he finishes off, you see the Lee Sin now is going in on the Zoe, getting Goon squatted as expected. Lulu TP's no flash, which means the Insec, there we go. Now, watch the power of Gore Drinker Rhaast. Ladies and gentlemen, watch this unfold. Just watch. You think maybe he's dead, maybe he can do nothing. Please. I'm Rhaast. I do what I want. Gore Drinker activation as well. I love the double Q proc and Rhaast. Beastly. And that's it. That's it. It's beastly. Can Shadow Assassin Kayn do similar things with Gore Drinker? Yes. But can he do what Rhaast does? No. Next level. Now we do have about 2.5 minutes until that Herald is going to be extinguished. There's no need to overpush it. Again, we had a lot of gold in pocket. Let's get ourselves a Kindle Gem. We can go Black Cleaver because, actually, you know, the Armor Shred is great for us. The Armor Shred is great for Tristana. And, of course, the other passives involved in terms of stickiness, HP, ability haste. These are all very good, but I don't think anyone would say anything if you went Sterix Gauge, for example. So, like with Volibear, when we used to build that back in the day, it's kind of like what suits your preferences and so on. That's a level 9 Raptor Camp, which means super elevated experience. Caught myself there. Cut to the mid lane. We do have 2 minutes left now. About 3 plates here, which is more than enough. We have a bottom lane fight going on at the same time. I mean, he's 6-1-2. This is the power of Rhaast. I love it. TB is being committed. And we see here, could it be Galio? No, he's going back to base. It's the Camille. So if he was committing that, you could easily interrupt it with your W. The Lulu ult happens. We've got basically 3v3 bottom lane and a 2v2 mid. They're going to snack on this with the Herald. Excellent gold income. Camille is now fighting bottom lane. She's trying, but it's Nami, it's Tristana, it's a Lulu. And as I said in the best junglers, if you get a Lulu, a Soraka, a Yuumi, hell, even a Nami, it is one of the best things if they pick full melees against you. What? It looks so good, and then Tristana did things, but Rhaast rotates down. W snacks. And now let's push this and get him maybe another plate. So it's a lot of gold that he's getting here. A lot of free gold. And this is the biggest thing for me. Once you take these, look, see, can I rotate down with Kayn? With blue Kayn, obviously it makes a lot more sense. But with Rhaast, you can do so as well. We could look to perhaps take away the blue buff. We do have to pay attention to respawns and rotations. I would hit this just to see. But he has control woods here. I'm a little bit conservative in terms of these things. I love to go, actually no, it's not true. I love to go for them, but I get a little bit extra nervous even if I don't need to be. Does that make sense? I love to steal those things against high level junglers, but for some reason think that they know where I am. But it's a good idea. If you can take it, obviously. Now the TB from the Galio goes through, and maybe this is a little bit overzealous. I do like the play, though. I'll explain in a second. I do love the play. Got him. I do love taking this and then looking to sort of swap on down here. But as I said, be cautious in case Lee Sin's enemy junglers, especially ones that are not going to do things that high elo junglers will do. I don't know why he's topside ganking a Lulu when he has a blue buff, a Grump, a bottom lane, a Dragon. For me, he's on the wrong side of the map. 100%. 100%. Kayn. He was trying to chase the kills. But yeah, I like the blue buff hijack and then sort of looking to go bottom lane, but it's easier if you tie it in with when your team is ready. If you go by yourself, it can be kind of difficult. But again, we saw the power of Rhaast. You got the kill, he got out. The healing with Gore Drink is just absolutely nuts. We'll take this as well. We'll leave another ward here. That's warded as well. If we know Lee Sin's taking our top side as expected, or falling back to his red side because he was top side, go counter jungling. Push the map forward. All the time. If you guys want diamond, I'm going to make a whole video about this as well. Push the map forward. Don't fall back. You made all these great plays. Yes, we made all these great plays. He pushed the map. He stole this. He fell back. He took a gang. Took the dragon. He took this. He took this. And now, we're going to his red. Look at this. He knows Lee Sin's top side. He's just going wherever the hell he wants. Again, though, this is a little bit of an int. I feel like we might get a kill. Yeah. But we're going to die for it. It's closer than I expected. They ignite tick. They ignite tick wait. We're not even talking about when he uses it because I'm just not even thinking about it. It's just so outside of my reality to go. I mean, I know people do it, but that's not something I've ever done with Kayn. You know, once you've done all that, sure, you can fall back here, but he's always pushing the pressure. And I think that's huge because even if he dies here and goes for 1-for-1, they all get really low. Sorry, 2-for-1. They get really low, and the rest of your team can always push forward. And that's why this is not really a jungle thing. It's really for everyone. Push the map forward at every moment, at every chance you get. Right. Black Cleaver completed, most likely going Sterak's Gauge next. He left the baby wolf. Our blue has respawned. Our Grump has respawned at a high level, so the fact that he counter jungled it don't matter. It is irrelevant. Pick which phrase you would like to use. And now I think the second Herald, I've seen on NA streams, junglers go for this when there's nothing else to be done. There's no outer towers except for, look at this. No outer, no inner, no outer, one inner. Camille bot, no TP yet because they should be timing it, I hope. Outer tower available plus a Herald. Where the hell do you think your team should be? What is the alternative currently to this map state? Let's go. And I have seen NA teams basically, the jungler does this in a good game, and the whole enemy team collapses, and they're just doing this. This is in a challenger game, and the jungler streamer basically said, why aren't we going for this Herald? It's the objective on the map. And the laners were like, it's second Herald, it doesn't do anything. And I'm not pinpointing the region, I'm just saying, it's ridiculous to think like that. And that's why Korea and the Super Surfer, Ionia, and so on are just so much better to watch, because look at what he's going to do with this Herald. It's where you punch. It's the punch to the gut. It really is. If you're really, really fed, and you have basically free real estate in their minds, in their jungle, on the map, and you're healing. It's funny. I mean, you can't tell me Shadow Assassin Kayn is better than what we're just watching here. I mean, I know he has a Lulu, I know he has a Nami, but that's the point, right? Picking champions to match a team comp is great if you have it in your pool and if you understand how to play them. If you don't, it's obviously, you know, don't play Kayn for the first time because you have this. He's chasing here. We could easily go Herald and end. So, look, this at 12 minutes, the game was 1k gold apart. 1,000 gold, which is nothing. But he is just absolutely stomped all over the map. The Galio was ulting, the Camille was TPing, everyone was being active. But the difference here, very much so, was on Kayn being at the right place at the right time, pushing the map forward at all times, and using his, it's basically two champions in one at this point, to just dominate every single fight. There were a lot of close moments where I thought, I don't like the decision, but he's Grandmaster, Kayn main, he knows exactly how far to push the champion, where you can see, that's fine, where you can see sort of good decisions and bad decisions to engage. So it's a quick game, 20 minutes, but it also drives home the point, when you have a lead early, please drive the map to the Nexus. Stop trying to scale and relax and chill. Just take it to the Nexus and win the game. And that's why in low elo, the games go on so long because they don't do this. Well, there you have it, a little bit of a brief Rhaast overview. I'll bring you a Shadow Assassin gameplay very soon as well. Let me know if you 100% want those pro player gameplay reviews, much like this one, but obviously with that angle. And yeah, please do like, share, and comment if you enjoyed and learned something. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to the main channel, which has your, you know, high quality, highly edited videos. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.